Hello everyone, welcome to the Char Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around and talk about the games they've been playing, things going on in their lives. Today I have with me Justin.
What's up? I'm tired.
And we have a special guest with us today. This goes by Jacob McCourt on Twitter. He's from the Left Behind Game .club.
Thank you. Hello.
I thought you were just going to do finger guns, and I was like, bro, this is audio.
Yeah, I was like, this is an audio media. Remember, use your voice. It's tough sometimes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And we have the dubious one, Ben.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Is I. Oh, yes. The marvelous one is dead. The dubious one is here. Vanguard one, to me, please. As we shall do this podcast of video games that I did not prepare for that is my past self. Even though I've been alive for 1,000 years, I am a celestial entity. Do you understand what I am? Yes.
I feel like this personality is going slightly racist.
Let's
How?
get on with the show, boys.
It kind of reminds... Maybe I'm just racist. It kind of reminds me of like an old, like Arabian, like pharaoh type thing. No?
I don't know. I think it's just an exaggerated voice. So the funny thing is that Ben doesn't watch AEW at all.
Okay.
Or any kind of wrestling for the past 5 years, so...
Okay, not true. Not true. I watched NXT from 2015 to like 2019.
Alright.
Not true.
Okay.
Sorry.
When it was hot.
Yeah. I just had to call Ben out because I had to. So this...
I don't have cable. I'm sorry.
And I don't watch wrestling of any kind.
So you can go first then, Justin. Since you always go first every week.
Yeah, it's true. Well, sometimes you make the guest go first. So I did play a few things that aren't Animal Crossing this week, but I'll get Animal Crossing out of the way anyway. I had my first, super good turnip sale, which made me really happy. My friend texted me, yesterday afternoon, I think, with I think it was 520 bell sale price.
What?
So I brought 80,000 bells worth of turnips over to his island and sold them for close to 2 million bells.
What?
It was amazing. I have no need for money anymore. I immediately went and paid off my next house upgrade and then just flung bells.
He is the 1%.
Yeah, basically. But ironically, then today, my upstairs upgrade was finished, and I forgot to play because Final Fantasy VII, which I'll get back to. So I was rushing around real quick, oh crap, I have to actually decorate this new room I got. It's I haven't done anything in the game today now that I'm rich because I don't care, I guess.
Is that what it feels like to be rich?
I think so.
I just don't care anymore.
Rich people don't care.
Right. It's whatever. I don't need you peasants and your small coins. I am the master of the stock market. No.
How do you store your turnips? That's what I need to know. That's a real personality thing for me.
Yeah. So I never really did the turnip stuff before. It didn't really interest me. So this time, I didn't know that you couldn't just keep them
In storage?
in your storage or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of figure that out, by the seat of my pants the first time I got turnips. So I just created a little fenced-in area next to Nook's Cranny, and put them outside because they said if you put it in your house that it diminishes your HHA rating or whatever.
Oh.
And also I just my rooms are too full for the amount of turnips I had.
Okay.
I would have had to just basically have an extra room just to put turnips in, and that seemed unnecessary when I can put things in the whole island. Because in past games you had to put them in your house because that's the only place you could drop things. But now you can put things all over the island, so it makes it a lot easier for turnip storage. But my little area next to Nook's Cranny became too small, and I didn't have landscaping yet, so I had to make a new area for this last time I got them because I got a lot more. So I just kind of made a bigger fenced-in area, up on a tall cliff. And then it's basically got one square that you can, ladder on up to. And then you have to move the garbage
Can.
Can. Thank you. Wow, that was.
I don't even have that yet, and I know what you're talking about.
And then you can get them. So like I tried to block them off in a way that not everyone could just go grab them because I don't trust people.
So you're the Scrooge McDuck of turnip sales, essentially.
Basically, yeah. But do you know? This is something I couldn't figure out. Do you know how to restack turnips?
No.
What?
Because like I didn't accidentally. I meant to like unstack a stack of 10. Because they say like if you leave one out and like let it spoil, then it'll draw flies and like ants and stuff that you can get for the museum. So I wanted to leave one out, but I had to unseat a stack of 10, and I could not put them back together. So like you have to lay them down individually, and they're usually laid down in stacks of 10, so 100. But I had like a stack of 70, and then like 3 stacks of 10. And I couldn't get them back together, so they were just taking up space when they weren't really worth that much, and it was making me mad. I have a feeling you can't put them back together, which sucks. There's so many like goofy little things in that game.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just plop mine in my house, and so my floor is covered in turnips.
Oh, yeah. Make a little outside, just fenced-in area. It looks a lot nicer too. That's why I put them like up in the corner on a cliff because people don't go up there that often. So it's kind of hidden away.
Mike says in the chat, have you tried press hold on the item and then drag it back into the stack?
Can Mike, you do that?
You don't know how to move items in your inventory?
No.
Yeah, you just hold down A and they'll pick it up.
Like
and then
the
you can
one
move
I
it
played
anywhere.
the most. Okay, see, I figured there was a way to do that.
Okay.
But the one I played the most was DS. Like, was that Wild World?
Yeah.
And that one was easy because like your inventory was on the bottom screen, so you just literally drag and drop. But I couldn't get that to work in this one, so I didn't know if there was a way to do it. But I figured there was.
Yeah, you just press A, you hold down A, and then it'll pick it up, and you can move it anywhere in your inventory.
Okay, good to know.
So try that.
Yeah, I'll try that out next time I get turnips. Because I could buy as many as I want. I have so much money. But yeah, so anyway, I was decorating my upstairs, which I'm turning into my theater space. I had it in a side room, but it was too small. I couldn't correctly space out the projector screen and couch and like screen in a way that like you could actually get by it and sit down and stuff. So I'm moving that all up to the upstairs because it's like longer and a bigger room. But I have to figure out what to put in the room that was my theater room now. So at some point I'll stop playing Final Fantasy VII and rearrange my house and stuff. But yeah, that game's still real fun. And I technically beat it. I got KK, the concert, and then he like does a song and it rolls credits. So I've beaten Animal Crossing.
So wait, that's the roll credit? Because I'm getting a concert on Sunday, so that means that I'm getting credits on Sunday.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's basically like, that's the end of like the story mode. Because like, that's kind of where most Animal Crossing games begin. Like, you have everything unlocked and can do whatever you want each day. So this just kind of builds up to that, and then credits, and then it's like, alright, here's Animal Crossing. Do what you want. At that point. But...
Do you fight God?
This is not a Persona game, okay?
I think that's the secret boss. I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very low drop rate, but you get like these Nook Miles tickets that you can take to different islands, and like it's an extremely low percentage to go to like God Island. And you get there, and you have to take out like Animal Crossing's God essentially, using only your bug catching net.
You have to capture God.
Yeah,
And give up the blathers.
well, no, it's like it's a. It ends that way. Like you catch them and take them to the museum to be put on display. Of course, but like you have to. It's actually like the Ocarina of Time when you can do the Ganon battle with your net.
Yeah.
And you just like hit the balls back. It's like that.
Okay. Make a memo to beat Justin down harder next Saturday for Killer Instinct and Battle for the Grid. And in my notes. Okay.
I'm just answering your questions, sir.
Gonna put in my notes, gonna practice. I was gonna practice, now I am gonna practice. Let's go.
I don't even have the game downloaded yet, and Final Fantasy VII is my life, so...
It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna style. Okay.
Anyway, I also... finally jumped back into Telltale Batman Season 2. I had played the first episode and then just stopped. So I finally found some time to get back into that and literally beat the whole season because I was obsessed once I started it again.
I want...
What?
I want to get it right now because it's on sale for $8, but I already spent too much money.
Oh, so you have not played through it?
Not yet. No, I haven't bought it yet.
Okay.
I just played through the first one.
Well, because that's the tricky thing. Is like I don't know how to talk about like the Telltale games without spoilers, and I don't even know what is a spoiler because multiple outcomes can happen.
Yeah,
but
just not say anything,
right? But I'll just like talk to Thomas about it later because I'm kind of curious how some things could play out. But I mean, Ben, you know Joker's in it, right? Like,
yeah. I've seen like I've seen like promotions where it's like a lot more prominent DC villains are in it, or Batman villains are in it, or rather.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like basically like again, it's in the promos and stuff. I feel like this is not spoilers. You essentially like have two different paths for Joker. And I did like the vigilante path. Because I thought it'd be a little different. Like, you know, everyone knows deranged Joker. Like, I kind of wanted to see like if it was possible to like make him be a good guy. And I think that was a much more interesting path. But I'm curious how the other side plays out. Like, if it's really that different. Without getting into the conflict of like, you know, who you're against if you befriend Joker, like that kind of thing. But yeah, it is kind of cool, like to have a different take on a Joker story. I really liked it though. Like, I will say it felt like it just kind of ended. Like, especially the fact that we're never going to get a season 3 or anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't totally
we're getting a
satisfied
new Wolf
with,
Among Us, so you never know.
True, but like there's licensing issues still with yeah. But like the final scene like of the last episode is kind of lame. Like there's no like I thought there'd be at least some fallout of the decision you make. But then it just ends. And like there's some cool stuff that happens in that final episode, but it's about halfway through. Mm-hmm. And then the rest is just kind of resolution. But there's certain characters that you don't even see again in that resolution. And then like it goes to the, you know, kind of the credits where it like shows you your relationships with people, how it ends. And like those characters are there and it like leaves their status with you. And I'm like, how, like, I did not get that sense from our interactions. That this is the way we ended up.
Yeah.
But all right, I guess.
Is it kind of like in season 1 how when you ended episode 4 and started episode 5, like essentially your villain battle could have been an entire episode and instead it's like 40 minutes? Is that kind of the same
yes.
lengthwise?
Like the first half is essentially the finale.
Got it. Okay.
It's like, did you watch True Blood?
No, I did not.
Okay. Because that had that really bad where like the season finale, like the first 10, 15 minutes was like the big climax thing. And then the rest of the final episode was like setting up the next season, essentially. Like everything kind of goes back to normal. Like it's, oh, hey, yeah, right. Like new characters are introduced. And it always just feels like it's not really a final episode. Like they could have ended it the episode before. And this kind of felt like that. But I mean, it's a good like first half. It's just the last half is kind of meh and doesn't really go anywhere. And there's some interesting concepts there. But again, like that's where it ends. You don't get resolution to that conflict.
You know what's funny, Justin, is that how you're describing that ending is an ending to a lot of comic books I've read over the past 20 years.
Fair, and I'm sure it was supposed to be kind of open-ended like that.
Yeah.
But it seems silly to make a big decision and then nothing happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like that decision has no weight then. But
like most comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very good.
That's what I don't like about comic books.
That's fair. And the last one that I played, obviously, is Final Fantasy VII. But if my wife is available, I wanted her to share a story first before I spend like 20 minutes on Final Fantasy, because that game's great. But
I knew you'd like it.
My wife has actually played a game this week, and she had a story she wanted to share on the Gamescast. So we have a special guest.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brooke. If you don't know, I'm his wife.
My wife.
I can't hear anybody else because he has all the sound in the headphones. But
Well, you're on the wrong side, so I can't share with you.
It's okay. I'll just pretend I know what they're saying. So, I've been off work on administrative leave because I can't do my job from work. From home, yes. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? I want to go back to my childhood. And I started playing Harvest Moon for PS1, Back to Nature. And I started a new game, which I haven't done since 2001.
I refuse to let her take her old PS1 and play that game.
Why?
Anyways, so
Because you have to start over eventually. Like, that game's like 10 years old. Get over it.
it came out in 2000.
No, like your save file.
My save file, the last time I played it was like 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so I started a new game. Anyways, you have a dog in the game that you have to, love. And anyways, I read that if you bring it inside before a storm, that it will make it happy. So I picked it up and I brought it inside my house. And I put it down inside my house, and then it was just gone. So I couldn't find my dog. It was not in my house.
It ran away.
And, like, you can whistle for it.
And I whistled for it, and it wasn't in the house. And so I went all over my farm, looked everywhere, could not find my dog. I was like, what the heck? What happened to my dog? And, so I went to bed. I'm like, well, maybe I fall asleep and it will show up the next day. So I slept, didn't save, and my dog was still gone. And so I looked everywhere. It still showed up on the map that my dog was alive, and it still had hearts. So I knew nothing bad had happened to him. He just disappeared for a while. Became invisible. He found Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. Anyways, so I keep playing, and then 20 days later, my freaking dog shows up inside my house. And
With a bow on, right?
With a bow!
With a bow?
He was not wearing a bow before!
His new family gave it to him.
I was like, what? What the heck happened?
Is it a girl dog now?
So, that's the story of my dog. I don't know where he went, but he came back with a bow.
Wasn't it like the day after the hurricane that he came back?
No. He actually came back after the stereotypical Asian man that sells illegal stuff
He brought the ball?
He brought me a ball. And
that
then,
makes
Aw.
3 days later, the dog appeared. But he was inside my house.
Huh.
You think he would have appeared outside. But anyways, I have my dog back. He loves me more than ever now. And I also accidentally named 2 of my chickens the same thing.
Potato.
I named 2 chickens potato.
2 potato chickens.
So I've got 2 potato chickens.
What's the dog's name?
What's the dog's name?
Doggo, but I spelled it wrong.
It's
Great.
D-O-G-O.
Yeah.
D-O-G.
That's why it ran away.
Oh.
It hates me. And my horse's name is Bobby.
Bobby?
Bobby.
Put
Yeah.
another horse on the bobby.
But My game's going pretty well. I'm doing very well, and
She also cheated on the first day to get all her tools to the max level.
I did. I always cheat. I've always been a cheater. I will admit it, because I don't like playing games.
Don't question that.
I will admit it. I'm not good at video games, so
no.
I like to get an advantage because I'm very bad at them.
But fun fact, apparently, like on the first day before you go outside, if you just use all your tools like right there inside your house,
You can level them up without getting fatigued.
because the fatigue meter doesn't kick in until you leave your house.
Because the mayor doesn't tell you about the fatigue until after you...
He doesn't
leave
tell
your
you
house.
could get tired.
Yeah.
Some smart person came up with it. It was not me.
Yeah.
So I was just using the internet. Dude, I used to use dial-up to find cheats. For that and Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
I printed out, like, I used dial-up, printed out, like, a walkthrough for Final Fantasy IX, and was going through that, like, at my dad's house, because he didn't have internet.
On
Those
GameFAQs?
were the days.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, that's my story. I really only play simple games. That's why I'm okay with playing Nintendo games with my husband, because they're simple. But anything,
And the new Harvest Moon,
But
when it comes out.
yeah, but anything too complex, it causes me anxiety.
Aw.
Yeah. Simple little games.
Alright, you're dismissed.
Bye.
Thanks, Brooke.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Brooke.
Bye.
She can't hear any of us.
Nope. And she fell over.
Just like
For
most
the
women in
second
my
time
life.
today.
So yeah.
Oh my god.
Slide
dude.
away. Slide away.
You know me.
That's great. So yeah, now Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I booted it up like right at 11 p.m. or 11 p.m. last night when it went live. And I was upset because like I loaded up my PS4, which I never play anymore, and the controller was dead. Like I guess it had discharged between like the last time I played it and now.
The plan worked!
Yeah. So like I got about half an hour before like I did a quick charge and then got about half an hour before it died. So I basically like got through part of that demo mission that at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But there's a few new things in there. It's pretty cool. Some of like the flashbacks and like weird like cloud scenes and stuff. And like I think the intro cutscene was longer too. I liked the kind of like zoom out around like the different sectors.
Yeah.
and
They
stuff.
showed the outside of Midgar, which they didn't show in the demo, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that because I was like, "Wait, is this the right game?"
Yeah, that's
This
what I
isn't
thought.
starting the way
Like-
I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
But I liked that more than just like stars and then kind of panning into Aerith. Like that always felt a little weird. But anyway, the demo mission, as I'm going to call it, still didn't really sell me on the game. Like I was kind of tired of all the tutorial things that popped up and stuff because I was like, I know this already. Go away.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time you do something, it would pop up another screen. And so I was kind of frustrated at that. But once I actually got into like the proper game and like learned some of the other mechanics, like the way materia works now, and like the weapon upgrade systems, and like the kind of like weapon sphere grid type thing they've got.
Yeah,
going on.
it's so weird, man.
Like there's some really cool like new mechanics to
Yeah.
like character progression in the game. I still don't like the battle system though.
Oh, you don't like the battle system still?
No. I actually like, judge me all you want for like, but I play the way I want to. After I played the demo and just like didn't enjoy like how bullet spongy and stuff, or I guess HP spongy, the Scorpion boss thing was, I actually started my game on easy.
Oh.
Because I just like I didn't want to have to care about the battle system. And
It
I
feels so
wanted to-
cool though, because like when I do the battles, I usually just stick to one character throughout the battle,
Mhm.
but I'm constantly like seeing my party members' ATB gauges go up. So like I pause mid battle, I tell them to use like lightning to stun
Yeah.
this guy. Like I think it's like really fluid and really it feels really good.
to be clear, like, it's the best battle system Square has done in a while. Like, it's better than 15 or Kingdom Hearts 3. The recent games they've put out. It's just, it doesn't totally feel like Final Fantasy VII does.
Oh, it's a remake, so
Yeah, it's
I know.
it's a different game. I mean, there's like missions in there that were never in 7.
Like, it's got the title Final Fantasy VII in it.
There's a bunch of missions in it that were never in there and never
oh my god,
brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But in a lot of ways, it feels like it's the story of Final Fantasy VII and the characters of Final Fantasy VII in a totally new game. Still named Final Fantasy VII, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, you nailed it. Right there.
Whatever.
It's a remake.
Yeah. It's like Metroid 2 and Samus Returns aren't exactly the same. There's different stuff in there, mechanics that make it feel like a completely different game. Yeah, it's
but
the same.
they have the same playstyle.
Do they, though?
Yeah. They are both, like, Metroidvania games. Like, action shooters. Side-scrolling action shooters.
These are both JRPGs.
Yeah.
But it's turn-based RPG versus action RPG. Totally different genres.
But you can have the turn-based RPG if you want.
Not really.
Yes, you can. They have it right there for you.
I mean, they still move around. They still do the attacks and stuff. You just only control the ATB gauge.
Right.
It's still not the same.
It's the same.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm not complaining about the game. I'm just saying the battle system isn't what I personally wanted.
Yeah.
That's
fine.
I don't want to have to, like, do all of the stuff it wants you to do because I just don't enjoy it. Like, I could. I understand why those mechanics are in there, like the dodge and the block and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do, like, I use it as needed. But
Parrying.
yeah, but I don't really care about that stuff. And I don't find it particularly enjoyable. So I wanted to put it on easy so I can just focus on the story and the character stuff that I do like, and the battles are secondary at that point. Because again, people should be able to play games the way they want to play them.
Oh, sure.
But
sure.
I just wanted to preface that, not to say that, like, I don't like the combat because, like, it's hard. I just don't like the way it plays, so I'm putting it on easy. It's not terribly hard, but, like, the bosses do take forever. Even on easy, that thing took a long time. And just, like, of waiting. The battle against Roche, I think his name was.
The motorcycle battle?
Yeah, no, the one-on-one battle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was better, but it still kind of had that, like, Kingdom Heartsy feel, where it's like the camera can't keep up with the action.
Yeah, there
is
absolutely definitely problem with that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't want to have to juggle the camera and all of the techniques and all that stuff. Like,
yeah, I never know if I should be locking onto enemies or unlocking because the camera can be all up in your face or not. It's
right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like action RPGs as much. That's specifically the reason, because I don't think the camera in most games can justify action RPGs. Like, it's different in something like Devil May Cry, because it's, at least the old Devil May Cry games, because you're kind of on a static field and the action is just happening around you. But once they give you control of the camera, it gets tricky. That's why I liked God of War games, but not necessarily like Nier or Bayonetta,
Heresy.
whatever.
Right.
Anyway,
Not liking a platinum game? Are you over? Jesus.
I was trying to not be too negative, but you got me caught on, like, one element that I don't like. Overall, the game is fantastic. Like,
Okay, so I've never played a Final Fantasy game. Like, it is a weird part of gaming I have not touched before.
interesting.
So is Final Fantasy VII the game? And if so, how would you sell it to me as, like, yo, you should play this game?
Are you talking about the original or this one?
I'm talking about the remake. Is it about eco-terrorism? Is that what that whole thing's about?
They definitely go into it way
It's-
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not about eco-terrorism.
I don't know. The first, like, 20 minutes, you're, like, destroying a reactor and there's, like, it's basically 9/11.
Pretty much,
yes. But there's more to it than just the eco-terrorists.
Anything we say kind of is spoilery, and it's like really spoilery, but
Right.
it's a
And that's-
kick-ass adventure with amazing characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like that's why, later I did want to have the discussion about like how do spoilers really work in this era of like games that are being remade and stuff like that, because this is a tricky thing to do. Talk about this game that, we've known for like 20 years.
Yeah.
in a
Oh my
way
god!
that- over 20 years. It was 97.
No.
Yeah.
Thomas, we're old.
In a way that's not spoilery. Like how do you, especially since like there's a lot of new elements in this game that weren't in the original.
Yeah, there are.
So you can even talk about this game in a way that wouldn't spoil the original, but still spoils this game, which is weird. Like, So, anyway, I'm gonna stay pretty top level right now. The game is great. I love a lot about it. The character interactions. I mean, it's beautiful. I'm crushing on like everyone in the game.
Especially Jesse.
The game is like
Jesse.
the right amount of horny.
Jesse's
Yeah.
the
The game
best.
is like.
I mean,
super-
Jesse and Tifa both. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They swap anytime they're on screen.
I still love Aerith. I
haven't seen her
fell
enough
in
yet.
love.
I haven't met her yet. Or well, I have
yeah,
met her, but like not.
You have.
Yeah,
Of course
but
you
not like a
met
whole
her.
lot.
Like that's another
Yeah.
thing I was gonna say. Is it's weird that like in this game where in the original Midgar is like a 5 to 6 hour thing total, I'm 6 hours into the game and have not run into Aerith except for that little beginning part.
Mhm.
Like it's so stretched out.
I am just about to get to the point where I'm fighting that boss on that reactor, and then in the original you fall down and then you meet her.
right.
Like,
I'm
you're-
going like I'm on the train to that reactor.
Oh, that sequence is so great.
Yeah, that's why I stopped there. I was like, okay, like it's almost dinner time. If I start again, I'm gonna keep going through this whole section, and I don't know how long it is. So I'm just gonna stop for the night, and I'll pick it up again tomorrow. And then I played Animal Crossing for a bit. But like, so much about the game is just perfect. Like the characterization of everyone, and like the way they brought these areas to life and stuff. Is a little confusing to navigate sometimes because like you're used to kind of the top down, like exactly what paths to go.
Yeah, I'm
Now it's like-
constantly thinking about the old map and like where would that
Yeah.
be, but then it's not like that at all.
right,
Yeah.
and because like the icons for things aren't as obvious. Like you can run around for a while and not realize that something's interactable, and then like the dang it, there was something else I had. The
Yes.
I don't remember
Okay.
what it was. Y'all interrupted me and I forgot. But the only thing that like kind of bothers me about that is like they try to pad out the game with unnecessary side quests.
You mean like killing rats and shit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like you don't really get much benefit for them.
Did you like the cat one?
Not really. I couldn't find them. Made me mad. Because
Really?
that was one of those situations where it's like you don't know what's interactable and there's cats everywhere.
Yeah. But
It's
once
like-
you see one cat, you know what the rest look like, and then
I didn't know that.
you
I
also
didn't know
hear
they were all the same
you
cat.
they also meow when you walk by them. Like I was about to leave the area and not do it, and then I hear a meow. I'm like, oh, okay, well there's one nearby.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I thought she was giving you clues to where each one was, but she said something about like they like to hang out by the station. So I like went over, to where the train station was.
Oh.
And there was a little girl trying to like get a cat out from under a bench.
Doesn't
And I
the
was
map
like, maybe this is the one?
Doesn't the map tell you that like it's within the circle area?
No.
No, I'm pretty sure it does. Because I didn't think about the station at all. Anyways,
I don't know. But like that all just feels like they added it in at the last minute to make this its own game. Like there might have been maybe 15 to 20 hours worth of stuff in this new Midgar area, and they wanted to get like full RPG length out of it, like 30 to 40 hours.
Yeah.
So they just shoved like side quests and things that slow you down.
I'm
into
interested.
it.
I'm interested to see how this, because this is the first time I've interacted with this kind of system in this area. I wonder when you get to like Wall Market if it's going to have that kind of thing but fleshed out more.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
And how they kept telling you like, oh, you have to build up your reputation as a merc
Right.
like so you can get more jobs. I wonder if that's going to have anything to factor in once you're in that area again, wall market. So
I'm sure that's like kind of the Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 15 thing, where it's like each new area, there's like a new set of side quests you do.
yeah, because they do break them up in chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like just all of that, it makes the pacing really strange.
Yeah.
For someone that's familiar with Final Fantasy 7. Like, I'm actually curious, Jacob, since you've never played a Final Fantasy game. Like, I'll sell it to you in a second, but I'm curious, like, a first timer playing the remake for the first time, if they feel like the game is awkwardly paced or anything, or if it just feels like the natural progression of the game because you don't know anything to reference it.
Or maybe there's too many inside jokes or something or inside references.
Or like references to things that you won't like. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, especially within the second chapter. Ooh.
You go to the apartment.
Yeah.
You mean that you haven't been following this franchise or this specific game for 23 years like the rest of us? My gosh.
Yeah. Or like chances are your favorite YouTuber or content creator has covered this game at some point. Like that's like you may not have necessarily played the game, but chances are I think most people have seen somebody talk about it in some aspects.
Yeah, you at least know the characters and the kind of some elements of it.
Yeah, but if you haven't, that's awesome. That's actually kind of cool, and I wish I had that.
Yeah.
There's some shit in here that's like, what? When you
Right.
first play it.
Yeah.
But in general, like, I love the expanded stuff, and I'm really intrigued by some of the, like, the new mysteries they're adding in, even if some
Yes.
of it's a little, like, Kingdom Hearts
Yes.
tropey. But, like,
I know exactly
why do we need
what
more
you're talking
soldiers? Like, the soldiers are basically organization members. Like, it's so awkward.
Yeah.
But the way that they make you care more about the characters is really cool.
Oh
And
my god, yeah.
expanding something that's 6 hours into 30 hours will automatically make that more fleshed out and interesting. And they're
Jesse's
doing
best
it all
girl.
the right ways, except for the side quests. I spent like 2 hours today just running through these unnecessary fetch quests when I really just wanted to move on to like the next
Main story, yeah.
Yeah. But that was my main story, was like build up your rep. And I'm like, really? This is bloat. Like, I can fully tell, like, I feel like that's something where even if you didn't know the game, you would know that's bloat.
Yeah, it's just a way to power level you.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's a modern gaming thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, they hold your hand through everything. So whereas in old games, they would basically just let you loose, and if you run into an area that's too difficult, you would know to go back and grind. Now they basically level you through the game automatically.
Xenoblade does something very similar where you're in that first Colony 9 in there for a long time before you actually get to like the big Gower Plains, the first big area of the game. When you think, oh, this is big. No, it's even bigger. So it's and that came out only about 10 years ago. So just compare remakes to remakes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a balancing act for sure. But I can fully tell where they kind of cut corners to make this its own game.
And how many more parts are there? Is this like a two-parter?
We don't know.
Don't know.
We don't
I
know.
would guess 3.
Holy.
But, like, the way this one ends, like, I mean, as far as I know, like, the point it ends at is not even the end of the first disc in the original game. And
Oh
there's
yeah, it
3
was never.
discs.
Yeah.
So if they have 2 more parts, they're not going to expand it as much as they are in this one.
Which would be fine
Yeah.
considering how open the world will be supposedly in the second part. So that
Like,
would be fine.
And Midgar's the most iconic part anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could see them basically doing like the rest of the first disc, like into part of the second disc as part 2, and then most of the second disc and the third disc, because the third disc is basically just the end of the game. There's not
Pretty
much
much,
there.
yeah.
Do that as part 3. So we kind of break it up differently than the discs do, but I think that would still make the most sense. Have a 3-disc game be 3 parts. But it's hard to know.
Yeah, but that shot of Midgard where you could see the plates.
Yeah.
You could see the fucking
Did you look up?
plates.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The game's so beautiful.
Oh, it's so stupid. It's not.
I think looking up was like the most shocking moment I've had in gaming this year.
Yeah.
But that's because I know about this series. I don't know if Jacob will have
Yeah,
like, the
because it's
same
always
kind of
been,
Yeah.
top down. Like,
right.
You could, yeah. I mean, you always knew Midgard was big, but
Yeah.
like
It
now
never
you
felt
actually can
this
see.
big.
Or like high up,
Yeah.
you didn't know how high up it was.
Right.
Yeah, that's the crazier thing for me is like how the difference between the upper echelon to the slums. That to me is like whoa.
Yeah, and like again, I'm trying to not go too spoilery, but just kind of like because I can say this without being spoiler, and YouTube will know. Like when they parachute off the plate.
Oh my god, dude.
That's when I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow, this is massive. Like they are very high up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the scale of that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Favorite line, it happens in that sequence too, between Cloud and Wedge.
Oh,
or Biggs.
yeah.
Oh
No,
my
it's
god,
Wedge.
I couldn't stop laughing. Could not. And that was 3 a.m. when I woke up to Max playing. Mm-hmm. By the way, I didn't play this game. I just watched Max stream it, and it was just as awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for all the like lonely guy haters out there, my wife came in while I was playing the game, took one look at Tifa and goes, "Her titties are huge." So
Yeah, that's what I
Point
said
proven.
on stream. I was like,
Yeah.
those are giant. And I had a guy came into my stream and he was like, they're not big enough. I'm like, are you kidding, dude? Like, come on.
Jesus.
she would topple
They've
over.
never seen real boobs in real life.
Right.
That's
Right.
how you know. That's how you know.
All
We
right.
were
that's
all
all I got.
14 once.
Yes. And some of us are still mentally 14. Ooh, not me.
Nice.
I mean, when I was 14, I was discovering Final Fantasy VII for the first time. So yeah, that was pretty incredible.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really envious of all like the young people like younger us who have no history with this game and they're experiencing it for the first time. I'm so fucking.
I'm not, because they could never go back.
That's fine. This is their version. That's
So
perfectly fine.
should I play the PS1 game first, or if I'm curious, just like jump into the remake?
I think you should jump into the remake, because you're old enough that you could probably go back and still appreciate
Yeah.
the original. Like, it's ugly, but like mechanically it still holds up.
Yeah, and storytelling wise, it's the original is still I think just as compelling as it was when it came out in '97.
Yeah, but I think it'd be interesting for you to play this new one and then compare that to the original. Like, kind of do the
Yeah.
opposite.
And just bait people and be like, I don't see what the big deal is. It's just an RPG, and then have like 94 men just throw their PS4 cartridges or discs at me. To
Cartridges,
be like, it's the
yes.
greatest game of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
throw their
yeah,
PS4
pretty much.
cartridges at you.
No. It would if you did. That would be the case if you were pissing off Persona fans because those people are testy. Yeah, I'm calling you out. You know who you are. You know who you are. Sorry.
I'm sorry. All right. Jacob, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of stuff. With all this extra time, it's been great. So I've been playing Animal Crossing. Won't go into it. I'm sure you guys have talked it to death. I've been jumping into Apex Legends, which I got into a month ago and just like have not stopped since season 4. Assimilation, like the marketing campaign for Assimilation, actually pulled me in to play the game again, which is the first time in recent memory that a game has done that.
What's the marketing campaign?
So, did you remember, like, when Season 4 came out, there was the new character, Revenant, who kind of got revealed. They revealed one character first, and then literally in one of their vignettes, the real character murdered this fake character. And I was like, oh, what's going on with this game now?
That's crazy.
And, like, got back into it like that and have been playing it, like, consistently for at least half an hour every day. It is a good video game, let me tell you. And there's an event going on right now where they brought duos back. So if you only have one friend that you can play with, you can now play duos again. It had been gone from the game for a while, so. But I've been spending most of my time playing a couple games. Resident Evil 2, not Resident Evil 3, the remake, because I'm a year behind on everything.
That's fine.
Let me tell you, from the sound of it, it sounds like I'm playing the right remake from a Resident Evil perspective.
Everyone likes 2 more than 3. So
Yeah, even back then.
I've only watched playthroughs of both of them, and I still agree.
Yeah, so I'm about 6 hours into that one, and I feel like I'm just now getting to the end of Leon's story.
Oh, you did Leon's first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have the option to do
Yeah,
either
you could do Leon's or Claire's first. I chose
Yeah.
Leon's first, but I think Claire's is better than Leon's.
It's better narrative, yeah.
Ooh, and is it about the same length or?
Yeah, about
is
the
it-
same.
Yeah. It's pretty much the
It's
same
pretty much the same
but there's-
campaign, but there's a couple extra things that you won't see.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it like whoever you do first is the same, but then the second one?
That's
is
that's after the ending though.
Yeah, that's like scenario B or
okay,
something.
that's
yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
It unlocks the second
So-
ending when you play again.
Yeah.
So I could play this game like 3 or 4 times, right?
Well,
Yup.
I would say just 2, but if you go on, go ahead.
Like,
Hey,
beat
hey.
it with Leon, and then do the second scenario with Claire.
Yeah.
Claire.
Okay.
It gets a little confusing on the main menu of like how you pick that. Rather than like picking new game and choosing Claire, you have to actually like go into like the second scenario, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it'll say like Claire and then like second something or 2 something. Like
Yeah,
That sounds like
even
something
confused some
Capcom would do.
reviewers. Yeah.
yeah.
So Resident Evil 2, and then just a couple smaller games. A Short Hike, which is the game that we're playing on our podcast, like coming up this week. Have you guys played it? It's like a 90-minute, really cute indie game.
I have it, but it was free on Epic, right?
Yeah, it was. Along with Mutazione, I think that's how you say that game. Like, they were free at the same time. I don't know if I'm saying that right at all. But A Short Hike is like a 90-minute game where you play a bird who just has to get to the top of the mountain to take a phone call.
Take a phone call.
Literally, the whole game is get to the top of this mountain so you can take a very important phone call. And it is cute, and it feels really good to play. And like I said, 90 minutes long. It takes place in like an Ontario park, essentially.
Oh, does it
And
take
you
place in
just,
Hyde
like,
Park?
It takes place actually Algonquin. Park.
Algonquin, really?
It's inspired by Algonquin Park.
Okay, now I
the
have to play
Canadians
it.
are just losing their mind right now.
Yeah.
But no, super recommend that game. And then I started getting into a game called Convoy, a tactical roguelike.
Huh.
Which I'm reviewing for a website. It's been on PC for a couple years. It's now on PS4, and essentially think of it as like a Mad Max version of FTL, but not very good.
Okay.
Cool.
So there's my review of it for you. It's a roguelike. You go around, and the action is split up into 2 sections. It's like a text adventure, and then all like text adventure roguelike where you have to search for parts for your spaceship that's crashed. And then the other part is like a battle system where you can pause at any time with vehicles, and it's just like, you know, some games how like you know how they would feel on a PC, but on a controller either the devs didn't get it or it just doesn't work. I felt like on the controller I don't want to play it on a controller. I want to play it on like mouse and keyboard. I've only played about 3 or 4 hours of it. We'll see how it goes, but I'm not super high on it. It doesn't seem like it has a ton of replayability either. Like I'm already seeing, you know, on a roguelike, like you'll see some of the same encounters and you'll see some of the same like enemies. In this one, I'm seeing so much repeated content. So those are the games I've been playing. Resident Evil 2, Apex Legends, Animal Crossing, Convoy, a tactical roguelike, and A Short Hike. So
Ben, what have you been up to?
So, just a little bit more Combat 11 because, of course, I got to talk about my fighting games. My best night as playing as Shao Kahn for this. So far, it's my worst season in the combat leagues that I've done. I'm under 500. It's not fun. Losing a lot. But I went 7-0 this past my last session. So yay to that. I whooped that ass. Still under 500 though. So after that, I officially burned myself out of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Like I was playing it so much, and then I beat story mode on Superior, which is quote unquote hard mode, even though I feel like I had an easier time playing it than I did on normal mode when I first played it. It was weird. But I've unlocked a lot of costumes. So I'm okay with being done with the game for now. And the DLC, paying for the DLC I did back in December definitely was worth it. And after that, the only other game I've been focusing on this week, and that's just because I wanted to compare notes with Justin, because I think he's getting this game at the end of the month, is Trials of Mana.
Yep.
I have had the collection of Mana, which came out last year, and I was like, well, Justin's going to be playing this game at the end of the month. I know Justin has experience with Second Zetsu 3, but I was like, well, let me play further, and that would be fun to go side by side somewhat, even though I'm starting 3 weeks ahead, and I might not remember Oh no, I've made a mistake. Anyways, it's fun because I really like it. Because I hated my first time with Secret of Mana. Like, I did not. It felt sluggish to play through that game.
It is,
and like the thing is, and I felt like I was missing something because, and this is why you don't listen to YouTube reviewers, except for Justin. He's the only one. And Maximilian dude. Those are the only two you should listen to. Like, cause like I remember hearing praise and stuff like that. I was like, well, they were right about Chrono Trigger. They must be right about Secret of Mana. And it's like, and I just didn't like it. And I think and just a quick story. What killed me is I was playing my Super Nintendo Classic, and I guess I did something to where I saved it, but I loaded that save, but I had a save state that was longer, but it overrid that, and it lost all my progress and killed any motivation I had. Like, I got past the tiger boss, the notorious tiger boss in that first game, and I was all the way back to a point where I was kind of grinding. I'm like, well, I don't want to touch this again. So I never played it, and so I was like, well, hopefully Trials of Mana is better, and I like it immediately.
Yeah,
so
here's
much
a
better.
little known secret real quick. It's something not a lot of people want to admit. The original Secret of Mana is not a very good game. It's like the original Star Fox. Like, it started something great, and people people still look back on it fondly, but mechanically, not a very good game.
Yeah, like, I didn't get very far into it. Like I said, I only got, and like, I didn't really like the story, but here, I love that you get to pick a main character, and then two cut characters, because that means to me, well, I can play this game again and look at a different scenario. And I picked Atlanta, or Angela, I think that's the name. She's
Angela.
she's the witch or the magician.
Yeah, the booby mage.
And yeah, like, and I was like, I knew the story was gonna be different because like her fucking spoilers. By the way, I'm sorry. So because the remake's coming out, so I apologize, but I need to say it. Like, her fucking mom tries to kill her, like, within the first hour, because she's like, we need to sacrifice your body to get the Mana Stone. I'm like, excuse me? I posted on Twitter. Like, what the... So, like, she's on the run. You have beastmen attacking this other village. Like, it's like the world is going into chaos. It's dark without being, like, overbearingly dark.
And what's cool is each main character you choose has a different intro. So, like, they all end up in the same place, but, like, the reason they get there is different. And so, like, as you meet up with your other party members, like, you kind of hear their backstory.
Yes. And I like that. I also picked Duran the Warrior. He was my other choice. And then the Valkyrie character, the Amazon. She was my third companion.
Nice.
So no healers. I do hate that in this translation, because again, this is the first time it was officially localized for America. Charlotte, I think she's called in the proper localization version. I think they call her Charlie in the fan version. They have her speaking in Awu. And if you don't know what that means, it's an anime trope for like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to do my very, very best. And she's a kid, so it's fine. But when you're reading that in text, that gets annoying very fast.
The voice acting in the remake helps that.
Okay, because like I read that, like, oh my god, she's speaking Awu. Oh no,
Yeah, it's bad.
And I was like, did I pick her? And like, no, I didn't. So
She's awful anyway. Like,
yeah,
she's not worth using.
good. Even though she's a healer, and normally I like to go with healers just to have backup. But
You get enough candies and stuff.
Yes, that's what I was going to get into. So you can only carry up to 9 items per time, but you have like a storage system that you can use anywhere except in battles, and just like you can buy like 20 candies. You only have 9 of you at a time, but say you run out of those 9, you can then transfer those ones in your storage to your inventory, and I think that's super badass.
And
All you have
each
to do
party
is
member could have 9, right?
I think so. I have to go look at that. I'm not 100% certain.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, it's so cool. The only thing I kind of miss from from a battle standpoint is in Secret of Mana, there was the bar that you could visually see. Okay, I can attack again at 100%. That bar is gone in Trials of Mana, and instead you basically have to look at an animation to see when your character's ready. And sometimes in battles, that can be a little hard to see, especially when things start to get cluttered. It's not a problem. But I wish there was a better visual indicator to tell when you can attack. I'm sure that won't be a problem in the remake with it being fully 3D.
It's not. They actually changed the battle system a little bit in the remake, where you have your normal attack, your like strong attack, and then your charge attack, which like does fill that meter, but does basically like a strong, like a like not ranged, multi attack, I guess, like
AoE?
against multiple. Yeah, AoE.
Area of effect.
That's what I was trying to think of. And then each character also has like a special. So you have more things you can do in battle, and you don't have to worry about like the building up a percentage meter or anything.
Yeah, well, here instead of building a percentage meter in the original one, you have like a little bar that's like it's like 4 bars of blue. I think it might change different colors depending on the character. Mm-hmm. And then once it's filled up, you get to do basically like a super attack, and that does good damage.
Yeah, there's still that, but it's not like you don't have to wait for 100% or anything before you attack. You just attack.
Yeah. But even then, I find it much more intuitive to play than Secret of Mana did for some reason, even though it doesn't have that visual bar. Only other complaint is that once you enter a place with enemies, you cannot run. You enter a battle stance, and So, like, if you're trying to go backtrack through, like, an area, and maybe you don't want to fight these little enemies because it's just wasting your time more than giving you, like, trouble, it just slows down the game too much. I wish there was an option to just run away from battles when enemies aren't there. If there is the game doesn't tell you about that.
I think if you get out of range, it kills that battle stance. Yeah,
but sometimes like certain sections can like have a lot of enemies, and sometimes it's a slog. So I just end up fighting them all because it's XP's XP. But yeah, I'm really digging it. Like I don't know. I was in a mood to play. And by the way, the sprite work for this, oh my god, is so fucking pretty. Like
the best looking sprite games out there.
Yeah, to me, it's right up there with Chrono Trigger, which came out in the same year. I think Chrono Trigger came out in 94 in Japan. This came out in 95 in Japan, and we didn't get Chrono Trigger until 95. So
I think they're the same artist.
No, because Chrono Trigger was Dragon Ball artist, so it's not the same artist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I can't think of his Akira Toriyama. That's who it is because he does Dragon Quest 2.
Because they are kind of similar.
I wouldn't say so, but sprite work maybe. But like, I wouldn't say character art wise. I wouldn't say so.
No, I meant sprite work.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's probably true. But yeah, I'm digging it. Like, I'm really, really digging it. I'm probably gonna play more before I go to bed tonight. The music is so good. Like, it's catchy when it needs to be. It's just perfect so far. Mm-hmm. And it's so intuitive. Like, I know where I'm going. The only thing that throws me off is that there's no overworld. Everything is like a path. Mm-hmm. So, and it's kind of hard. I wish there was a button to tell, like, to just bring up the overworld so I know I'm going the right direction. Granted, most paths aren't very long to, whether you're going to the next town or not. It's not that hard to go back. That's just like a modern thing. I wish that was a thing, and it's not. But yeah, I'll probably talk about this game more and more as we go along. I just hope, my thing is, I hope it's as balanced as I hope it to be, because you can choose any character you want, and if you don't have any knowledge of these characters, the game better be balanced based on your scenarios, just like in Final Fantasy 1, unless you pick 4 white mages, which in case, well, why are you picking 4 white mages?
There's runs like that.
That's stupid. Like that's the kind of person who likes put a lighter right next to my balls because I like to feel danger. So I made Thomas laugh successful.
Oh my god!
So yeah, that's all I've been playing. Trials of Mana was the biggest surprise for me because I was expecting to hate it like Secret. I'm sorry, guys. Lynch me all you want, but I don't think Secret of Mana is that good of a video game. Not when you compare it to like other JRPGs around at the time.
Yeah. So I've been basically just been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. One thing we didn't mention was that there's a whole music collection part of this where you go around to different areas and you could buy music from the vendor.
Yeah.
I don't really see the point of it because you can only play it in the jukebox. I don't think we're going to get to the jukebox anytime soon.
Plus, I wish those were collectibles. Like, there's a lot of like random alleys and stuff that have nothing in them.
Yeah,
that was scary. And like when you walk down somewhere and find nothing, like I get that it's it's a kind of a desolate place. But like if there's at least a music box or something there, that's something you can like some kind of reward for exploring.
Mm-hmm. Also, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 as well. I decided to give the Easter event a try, and they have. So one of the first things you do is you talk to the vendor that has that gives you the quest to do the Easter stuff, and so you talk to them, and then they send you on your way to go do the public event to get eggs, so you can cash that in for rewards. The event is you dress up in a bunny suit, they give you a net, and then they give you eggs to throw at chickens. So you throw the egg at the chicken, it slows it down, you run over and you capture it with your net. And you just do that until the event's done.
Weird.
So then you go back into town, tell them you did this thing, and they're like, okay, we'll go do this other thing. You're just basically getting eggs and you talk to people. Then after that, they're like, all right, we're going to do a parade now. So you go start the public event in town, and you're just like marching along with other like people dressed up in bunny costumes, handing out eggs to kids. And I thought that was like really wholesome. And I was like, that's really fun.
Especially in a year where a lot of people aren't going to celebrate Easter.
Yeah.
It's something.
Well,
Womp womp.
that's probably my
some
favorite
people-
Easter event I've played in a video game. Because the Animal
Some of
Crossing
them
one is
are.
kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It's just like, sorry, you want
There
ore?
are
How
some
about
special
eggs?
things. I know. Yeah, that it is. But there are some special things that are going to happen on Sunday.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it being over, honestly.
That too.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just like kind of fun and wholesome. And now I have a bunny costume that I could run around and beat up enemies with. It's great.
when you're nice.
High praise. High praise.
Also, the bunny costume has more armor than my armor does, so I got an armor upgrade. I'm only level 28 though, so I don't know. What else? Fuck. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, and just a little bit more Animal Crossing. I got a Godzilla statue and I put it outside my house. So it's like my watchdog. It's kind of cool.
Thomas, have you gotten your blue corner yet? I need to know.
I have not gotten the blue corner yet. So one of the cool things about this is that
Wait, there's different corners?
there's going to be a neutral, red, and blue. That's how Japanese wrestling rings work.
Okay.
Also, that's how UFC works. They also have blue and red corners.
See, I thought it was just 2 neutrals and 2 reds. I was going to get you another red.
No.
Standing in the blue corner.
A cool thing about this Animal Crossing is that once you have an item that you can purchase, you can just repurchase it as many times as you want. So like as soon as you gave me that neutral corner, it unlocked it for me, and I could just buy like more neutral corners. So what I did was I just bought a neutral and a red, and I gave that to Jacob as a gift.
Hi,
as well.
thank you.
Nice. Yeah, there's a thing people do called cataloging,
Yeah.
where like they'll visit your island and say, "Oh man, I love that. Can I catalog it?" And so basically, like you drop it down, they pick it up, and it registers that it's theirs, and then they put it back down. So like they never take it from you,
Yeah.
but it still registers
Huh.
in them and their like inventory. So if they can go back to their island and buy it.
Yeah. It's really cool. I like
Yeah.
that feature a lot. It makes sharing like a lot more fun.
Right, because you don't have to like deal with like, oh yeah, sure, I'll give you this, you give me the money. Like, no, you just catalog it and then they can buy it
Or
themselves.
like I want to keep this, but also I want to give it to someone else.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. All right. So that's about it for Animal Crossing for me. That's all I'll talk about. I'm definitely.
My girlfriend made a saw room in her Animal Crossing house.
What?
Nice.
the fuck?
Is this after
so-
I left?
Yeah, this is after you left. It's just a concrete floor with a bathtub, a toilet, and a tricycle.
That's great.
I have a concrete floor with a tricycle, and I used to have a bathtub, but I gave the bathtub away.
Yeah, I have a toilet. I don't have a bathtub.
What are you, Thomas? What are you, a Melee player?
What?
I don't get it.
I don't either.
Smash players don't bathe.
Oh.
There you go. That's
No, I have.
Somebody laughed. Somebody laughed.
No.
Jacob laughed.
Anyways, let's get into the news. So the first piece of news we have here is the new DualShock controller. It's not a DualShock, it's a DualSense for PlayStation 5.
Look at me. We're pretentious this time.
I wonder if it can sense how ugly it is.
Ooh! Burn!
Massive burn. I don't know. It looks fine. It looks simplistic. It's
I hate
whatever.
it. I hate the look.
Yeah. Me too.
I hate the two-tone aspect of it. Like, I'm sure at some point, 12 months from now, we're going to get a black or a white.
No, what are you talking about?
straight-up
12 months.
controller.
That's just going to be on launch day. Here's this black
Yeah, they're
controller
gonna
you can
cave
buy.
already.
I hate that they went two-tone black and white. I think the two-tone could look really cool. Like if they have a like a controller studio like Xbox has where you can customize different parts of it, there's a lot of potential there. But the white on black is bad.
I don't understand why they abandoned the like DualShock name. Like that is a recognizable controller name, and they just said, "Nah, it's DualSense now."
I guess they're trying to reference something new because the Shock was always the Rumble,
Yeah, that's what it was referencing.
and Rumble is not a new feature anymore.
This has multiple features that are more Rumble.
Yeah,
Basically.
it tracks your.
That's
it
true.
Tracks
It is
your
more
credit card
Rumble.
information now.
So it's got
Understand how the new controller will captivate more of your senses as you interact with virtual worlds on PlayStation 5.
You know what it is?
That's a video
Have they,
somewhere.
yeah, then they'll announce. Oh, it has HD Rumble. Watch.
Unless you can put your dick in it, it can't stimulate that many senses.
Nice.
You can
And
pull
what
that
about-
quote out and use it anywhere. That's fine.
Put that on the back of the box.
Right. So some of the things that they're going to have, they adopted haptic feedback, which adds a variety of powerful sensations. It's kind of what we joked about. Also, they incorporated the trigger rumbles, the ones that like the Xbox has.
Cool.
Which that's you really notice it when you're playing driving games for sure. Like I really like that feature. What else do they incorporate? They still have the touchpad. They renamed the share button to the create button. So
There's a microphone array on it, so now you can hear people playing 5 Seconds of Summer while they're playing Apex Legends, like,
oh no,
without a headset.
oh no.
I will say, like, the built-in microphone is a neat idea. I don't think it's going to be effective.
Probably not.
I think it's going to cause more problems than, like, solve issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to actively turn off the microphone on stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, look, it lowers the bar for voice chat.
Right.
So,
Like, accessibility is never a bad thing, but when it's going to opt you into it, probably, that would suck.
yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Before we move on, everybody who we just talked about this needs to go to @DemonDan on Twitter. He's a big Street Fighter V content creator. He did like a mock-up of like various like Street Fighter characters, like a design with the PlayStation controller mine. So from the entire roster, they look really sick. So Demon Dan on Twitter. He does a lot of cool Photoshop work. But that's some of the coolest stuff on. He did a Sakura one. It looks really, really pretty. And it's probably going to be how Sony's going to take all your money when they start introducing variations and color schemes. So,
yeah,
there
you're
you
also going to have people that do skins and stuff, which...
go.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I've seen a few cool ones,
Nyko
like the
has to
Spider-Man
survive
one.
somehow. Is Nyko still a company, or am I just...
I think they're
old?
still around.
I think, yeah, Mad Catz is gone, but I think Nyko's.
I think they do like charged cases and stuff. So
I will say the fact that we're 5 generations in and PlayStation refuses to swap the D-pad and left analog stick is maddening.
I think they're just stuck in what they do. You know, like that's what sets them apart. When you
I
look
know,
at a
but I
controller,
hate it. Like the main thing, like I never played my PS4, so the main thing with playing Final Fantasy VII now is I'm like, I can't get used to this.
The inset, you just hate it?
Well, yeah, it's like you have to stretch so far to use the main joystick on the controller. Like, the D-pad is not the main thing. It should be further away. And the main stick you use should be the main one. I understood it back on, like, the, PS1 days, when they added the dual sticks later. But now, it's standard for everything to be controlled with the stick. So why is it not closer to where your hand is? Like, every other controller gets that.
yeah, even
PlayStation's literally the only
even
one.
Nintendo, they finally
Yeah.
So next news story we have here is Ori and the Will of the Wisps patch. Ben, have you played Ori since the new patch?
What? Huh? No, I haven't.
Of course he hasn't, because he's garbage.
Listen, it's not my fault. It's not Mortal Kombat. Okay.
Hey, that's another
Leave
thing
me
that I
alone.
played was Ori, and I did the bug section, and I never want to see another bug in my life.
Right?
It can't be worse.
I warned
than the
you about that
deepness
spider
in Hollow.
battle.
I haven't done the spider battle yet.
Oh, then you haven't done the
Thomas,
bug
have you-
section.
No, I'm in the bug section, but like I paused, like I saved right before then. So
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Thomas, have you played Hollow Knight?
no, well, a little
That's
bit,
just
like
all bugs.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
look up an area called the Deepness, and you want to talk about bug fear? That's bug fear.
Yeah, Hollow Knight's just like, oops, all bugs.
No. The Deepness is like that times 100. Trust me. Yeah, that'll have you making like checking your body. Like, wait,
Someone that has a phobia of bugs, I don't want to play any of this.
just look up footage on YouTube. That's what you gotta do.
Why? No.
Yeah, I have a spider phobia, and I had to run away from a spider, which is fitting, I guess, if you have a phobia.
Right, exactly.
How do you
I
play
guess
Animal
motivation.
Crossing at night with all the tarantulas if you're afraid of spiders?
Yeah,
I have yet to... No, I caught one tarantula.
I'm not
but it
looking
was
forward to that.
terrifying.
By the way,
I haven't caught a tarantula. They always hop and bite me.
Yeah.
Jesus, why are there tarantulas in this damn
It's
game?
awful.
But like, okay, so the last
Why?
like 5 days I played this game, I have not encountered a tarantula, and I'm worried
I haven't
that
either, actually.
I don't have any more.
Guys, lucrative business, tarantula farming.
Tarantula Island.
Tarantula Island
is a thing.
Is it?
No,
in the
I've
game.
made one. I've made one.
You've made an island of tarantulas?
Yeah, so
Why?
essentially you go to a Nook Island, you find one that has no water in the middle, you go at night when the tarantulas come out, you take down all the trees, you take all the flowers away, and you essentially just make it bare, and then that way tarantulas keep spawning, and that way you get mad money, mad bells.
But I thought it was just like a specific island that was Tarantula Island.
No, you make your own Tarantula Island.
Oh my god.
Tarantula Island is
Jay-
like the flat islands is what they call Tarantula Island. Because it makes it
Jacob
very
showing
easy.
us that tarantula tech.
All right. I'll try that then. Because I have such bad luck with islands. I've gotten Bell Island once, and I couldn't figure it out because I didn't know that you can break the rock to get over there.
Wait, Belle Island, Belle from Beauty and the Beast is there?
No, like, there's a lot of bells on it.
Oh, okay.
I get, like, so many bamboo islands, and then I get random trash islands. That's it. I've had one island with a villager on it.
Same.
That's it. I don't know why
so
I...
essentially, there's this great article on IGN. It's called "How to Create Spider Island," in parentheses, tarantula farming, and it just tells you exactly how to do it. So I may be breaking the game a little bit, but if you want to I have a lucrative business for you: tarantula farming.
I mean, I'm a millionaire, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
maybe I might give it a try. I don't know.
Yeah, and they say Tom Nook is the evil one.
Yeah, for real.
It's you, the player, after all.
You're more rich
Tom
than Tom
Nook
Nook.
charges me to have friends. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is our news story right now.
Yeah. So
I'll play it. Damn
essentially,
it.
it fixes the audio updates. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully it does. If it does, I'm gonna be mad.
I think anything in the article they say it's like one step back, but I think that's just the HUD. Like it for some reason it cuts something off.
Also, fast travel. Wasn't it about fast travel? So essentially, like, they have added barriers to easy fast travel now in that game.
Yeah, you can fast travel from anywhere.
Oh, that's cool. Neat.
You
Nice
already
little-
could.
But I
You
think
could
they
only
just
fast
add,
travel
like,
to
currency
specific
around it.
points.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think you
Gotcha.
just have to pay a little bit of currency now to do it. I haven't played the
so
game
it's
yet, so I don't want to.
worse.
Yeah, it's worse. That's the
okay.
worst part.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. You get a lot of currency in that game.
Do you though?
You do.
I don't know. I have barely touched the game.
I still have like 2,000 souls. I have nothing to spend it on. So
Fucking Game Pass.
You don't have a lot at first, but now, like, I've gotten literally everything and still have extra.
I bought stuff I didn't want because I just wanted to spend the currency.
Oh, yeah. There's that.
Okay, next news story. So there was an Inside Xbox. So we'll briefly cover this.
Barely.
There's an earlier version of Grounded. It's an upcoming survival game from Obsidian Entertainment.
That looked cool.
It's arriving on July 28th.
Yeah.
Justin, you were really into this, weren't you?
I'll check it out on Game Pass. It was a cool idea. it wasn't totally my kind of game, but like I like it from like a I want an Ant-Man game standpoint.
Ooh.
Like it kind of feels like that.
Where I was like, this is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the video game.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair too. But like I made a video about like Marvel games I would like to see made, and one of them was Ant-Man, and this kind of is like the conception of what I would want from that. Except, like, you can go big and be, like, a normal world, and then go small and, like, take on, like, these kinds of areas.
Yeah. A while back, we took a look at everything, that video game, and so, like, I think that would be a good starting point for an Ant-Man game. For sure. Because you can go big and go small and, like, become small and tall objects.
Oh, yeah, okay.
At will.
I was thinking that was just, like, becoming different things, but I guess, yeah, it would change your size.
Yeah, you can become an atom, so. Or grow into a building, so. Alright, next up, we got some Forza news. Forza Street heading to iOS and Android May 5th.
Cool. Is that a new game?
I guess it's a new, and like a mobile game, and if you play within the first 30 days, you'll get a special car.
And it's been on Windows 10, I think.
Has it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have never heard of it.
I'd check it out when I'm back at work.
So some games were announced for Game Pass: Journey to the Savage Planet, Football Manager 2020. On April 9th, so it's already here, Mistover and Stranger Things 3, the game, are heading to PC Game Pass. Sometime in the future, Human Fall Flat expansion. Yakuza Kiwami is available on both eventually.
Play that.
You need to finish 0.
Shut up.
Yeah, none of these are that interesting, honestly.
Kiwami is, though.
But not for me. Journey to the Savage Planet sounds cool. I've never heard of that game, but I looked it up like when I saw it was coming to Game Pass, and I was like, oh, that seems interesting.
It's another one of those like space Minecraft games. Or
I thought it was more of like an adventure game.
Yeah.
Like a narrative adventure game.
I've never.
Did we skip over the Xbox Series X like tech section of the video?
Did we?
Yeah, I
I've
think
never
there
seen
was
the
this
video.
little tech thing with the project management guy for Xbox Series X, and essentially the big revelation in there is that you won't be able to play Xbox One or Xbox Series X. See, this name's already getting me. Xbox Series X games off a USB hard drive. You'll have to move them either to the internal storage or to those like proprietary Seagate memory card type things.
Yeah,
so
we talked about that before.
Expected, but like
yeah.
Woof.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend I understood everything you said.
Yeah, proprietary memory is never a good thing.
Yeah.
That's not the lesson they should have taken from Sony.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because they want like tight control of their hardware architecture. I get it, but like practically for most gamers, like everyone has a portable hard drive kicking around. Like, right. I don't know.
Some more news we have here is Minecraft Dungeons is going to release on May 26th. Strange Savage Planet expansion Hot Garbage is launching on April 15th. Gears Tactics follows the story of Gabe Diaz, someone that's not in any of the other Gears games, but he's the father of Gears of War 5 protagonist Kate. And it's going to be available PC Game Pass at launch. No loot boxes or microtransactions, so
it seems kind of cool.
You can say yay.
Like, I've been kind of hard up for a good tactics game, and I think it skews more towards like the XCOM rather than like the Final Fantasy Tactics that I like. But I'd check it out.
We still need to finish Gears 5.
I know.
I don't know.
I just want to get through that open world section. After that, I feel like it'll get better, but oof.
Several countries in Western Europe now have a chance to check out Project xCloud for themselves. Dragon Age Inquisition, Unravel 2, and Sims 4 are now playable through game streaming service. I checked it out a couple times. It's like neat, but again, like I don't really need a portable gaming thing for where I am in my life.
Not even for Destiny?
That would destroy everything that Thomas held dear.
See, if I wanted to play Destiny on a inferior platform, I would just play it on.
Stadia?
I would just play it on Stadia or PS4, Xbox One. Like, I actually got a Stadia account and played a little
It's
bit.
free right now. Yeah.
I played a little bit of Destiny on there, and you can tell that there's some kind of weird stuff going on. Like I played a PvP match.
Hold on. Can Destiny 2 players on Stadia play with Steam players? No. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say we could play together, but
I thought it was like cross-platform as far as
It's
like,
cross
your
save.
character and
It's
stuff.
cross save.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
so we can't play together.
So
Sucks.
our clan had an idea of loading up because there's a thing called trials that you play every weekend to get like pinnacle gear, and we had the idea of like signing up for Stadia and trying that out and see if we could do any better. But I'm still bad on Stadia. Like the players there are still better than me. But next up in this news, we have Hotline Miami Collection coming to Xbox One. Atomic Crops will be out on May 28th. And
Never heard of it.
and Sea of Thieves is getting an update on April 22nd. Ships of Fortune featured. The expansion reputation system and an overhauled competitive mode, new cosmetics, and cats.
Still not enough to make me play Sea of Thieves.
I played Sea of Thieves recently. It wasn't terrible, but like the last 30 minutes turned me off so hard that I didn't want to play it anymore.
It
Because
doesn't seem like there's a game there.
well, there is. There's like a whole story mode that you can do now called Tall Tales.
Oh.
And while we were doing that, me and Sully, we got caught in a storm, and then we saw a ghost ship. We tried to kill the ghost ship. They shot me off the ship with a cannonball. I had to swim all the way back to the ship, and Sully took him out. And then we got jacked. So I was like, I'm done. I just don't like the fact.
Hijinks.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact that you can just get jacked and lose your stuff. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Because like when I saw it through, they had like a PvP mode and the adventure mode. I was like, oh, okay, so they just broke that out into that section. But no. And then they said in an interview recently that they're not going to separate that. So,
That's stupid.
yeah.
People are always the worst part of online games. I remember when I played DC Universe, and like I created a new character, I was really proud of it. I jumped into like the first like starter area or whatever, and this like level like 99 super powered character kept flying down and killing me. Like I would respawn and they would just be waiting for me.
That's why you don't play on PvP servers.
Right. But,
What are you
like,
listening for?
I don't know.
Because I'm the fighting game person who's probably gonna do the same thing to y'all next weekend. What?
You're not just
think
ruining
I'm
people's
busy,
time. It's not
actually.
the same.
Sometimes I think I do. Sometimes I think I do.
Ugh.
Not on purpose. I don't teabag unless they teabag me first.
Let's talk about something you're excited about, and that is Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, so this is a big trailer. Originally, it's sort of like a release trailer, but then they what the cool thing about this trailer is like play Streets of Rage to play retro, and you can unlock 12 original classic characters from Streets of Rage 1 through 3 in their original sprite form, and it looks a little awkward with the sprites and the very beautiful new backgrounds, but it's still so fucking cool. It doesn't say how to unlock them, of course, but then also it says listen retro, so you can actually listen to the Sega Genesis versions of the songs. And if you were a Sega Genesis kid, Streets of Rage is right up there. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Streets of Rage better than Final Fight. Don't at me, Capcom nerds. And it's coming out soon. There was a report that said it was going to launch at the end of this month, but Dotmo, I think that's how you pronounce the
.emu.
They said we can neither confirm or deny that, so they just said soon, so it's probably right. But it's going to launch on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch at $24.99. So I get 2 Sega games within the span of a month. I'm fucking happy. Skate is back. All of them are back. I'm probably going to play this game to high heaven. God, I hope this has online so we can play with it.
Emu did the Windjammers remake, didn't they?
Yeah, they do a lot of
think so.
remakes of classic
Good
retro games.
netcode, right? So
I hope so. They also did. By the way, anybody who's seen this thinking Streets of Rage looks pretty, go play the Monster Boy game that they did a couple years ago. It's also really, really pretty and really, really fun. So yeah, I'm excited for Streets of Rage 4. Anybody else excited for Streets?
I'm excited that Skate is back.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I used to play, like, he used to be the character I would play.
I kept wondering, why is this game taking, like, because beat 'em ups aren't usually long. They're not supposed to be. But now I can see what the development time they're putting, like, it must take effort to get these sprites looking somewhat good.
Yeah, trying to get all the
in
old,
this
like,
world.
code and stuff. And
Yeah, so I think that's a super badass bonus. And it is coming to limited run, so if you want a physical copy of this game, it's going to be at limited run, which is pretty neat, which I hate. I wish it was day and date. Like, that's the one thing, because I want Panzer Dragoon physically, but, like, I don't, do I really want to double dip? And I probably will, because I'm a whore. So, yeah, it'll probably come out by the end of this month. So if you want a quarantine game with your buddies, you can't go wrong with some Streets of Rage. It's back, baby.
Speaking of coming back, I'll hop into The Curious Case of Cooking Mama, Cookstar. Ben, what is this?
So there was a report going around on Twitter that the code or something in the Cooking Mama, the one that came out recently, that it was overheating switches and I guess other consoles, and mining it for cryptocurrency.
What?
Yeah, that was the report. It turns out that's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not true, and it's just a poorly optimized game. So yeah, let me get the article up real quick. But yeah, it was hilarious.
I think at one point they may have they're like at one point we looked into cryptocurrency but decided not to go ahead with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which kind of sounds like something someone would say when they definitely went ahead with cryptocurrency. By the way,
We didn't do it. We just looked into it.
But the story is way weirder, and like it involves a publisher where if you look up their address, it's just a big house in the country. Like there's just some really shady stuff going on with this game.
Yeah, it's been removed from the eShop. I don't know if it's been reinstated or not, but it has been removed. Yeah, so yeah, but apparently it's not. It's just the reason why it's like overheating switches and stuff like that. It's because it's not an optimized game, and apparently
there's also an IP battle going on about who owns Cooking Mama and who's allowed to have the final say on what the game looks like. The Koch brothers are involved too. It's weird.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy, dude. Cooking Mama is she's going to jail.
yeah, I really like this this statement that the actual people that made the game said. It says, as for the crashes / overheating, that would be because the game is made in Unity. By many people working on their first game, it's not the best product. But it made it through several vigorous reviews by Nintendo and Sony.
Don't buy our game is what they're trying to say.
Right. Like, how did this...
Yeah, so...
We did a video game.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the reason why, because obviously Nintendo, Sony, they would have caught, wait a minute, what the fuck is this doing? That would have not passed any kind of test in terms of playability, but, a lot of people were raising alarm because it was draining the battery on Switches, and Cooking Mama, based on what I saw, is not a game that should drain your Switch battery that much.
No.
So, yeah, I just thought this was hilarious. This is all I saw on my timeline. Cooking Mama is hiking your not something console cryptocurrency. What the fuck is Cooking Mama cryptocurrency 2020? Can it get any weirder? Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Yeah. By the way, this is a $60 game, and even the creators are saying it's not that good.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that aren't that good, Stadia.
Hey!
Google Stadia is going free for 2 months. So you can sign up for a pro subscription free for 2 months. I already have.
Do you still have to pay for
you
the
get a bunch of free... No, you have to pay for whatever games that you're going to buy, but there's free games that they've included with the subscription. So you get Destiny 2 The Collection, which is all of Destiny 2 at the moment. Then you get Grid, Guilt, SteamWorld Dig 2, SteamWorld Quest,
Ooh.
Hand of Gilgamesh.
That might play it well since it's an RPG.
Serious Sam Collection, Spitlings, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, and Thumper.
Real quick on...
Let me tell you, I signed up for this right before we started recording, and I booted up SteamWorld Dig 2 because I know what that game looks like, and I'm like, this actually works.
Yeah.
It's just the business model still like makes absolutely no sense.
Also, don't...
It's Google. Of
Yeah,
course
also
it
don't play fighting games on that because that's atrocious as fuck.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, like I put this in here because it's neat that they're going free to play. They're basically saying like, right now people could use this. Like it's Google, so they're going to be sleazy about it.
Yeah.
But at least they're doing
Yeah.
it. Like they realized this didn't work. It didn't catch on. So like right now, is when people are home, they can try it out. We're going to make it free. Here's 2 months. Even like actual pro members, like that have been pro for a long time, have the next 2 months for free, which they didn't have to do. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they get no charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a nice thing, but also like they're making all people 1080p to restrict the
Bandwidth.
during these trying times. So like really they're making it free because everyone's getting the free version anyway.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I read that in the US they are lifting data caps. So if you have a data cap lifted, you can sign up for Stadia for 2 months and play as much as you
Go
want.
ham.
With the free
for
games.
sure.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to try it out. I forgot to, but I kind of want to.
I will only want to try it just for Hand of Gilgamesh because, fun fact, the publisher Image World, they did like they gave away 1,000 codes this past week of like any game that from their library for any system that you just have to sign up like a thing. I didn't get one of them, and I was like, well, it's fine, whatever. One of them I wanted was Hand of Gilgamesh for Switch, but it's like on sale for like $11. So, yeah, I might try it with this now since it's 2 months, since it's a card-based, turn-based JRPG. Or role-playing game, I don't know. Yeah.
Man, they do the wildest stuff, that team.
Yeah,
I swear.
it's crazy.
I just want to say a little bit more about Destiny 2. When I was playing on Stadia, I could clearly tell there was people lagging behind because they were shooting at me where I wasn't.
Yeah.
So like I was there before. It's like on their screen I was somewhere else, but I was clearly not where they were shooting at.
But you were only playing with Stadia people, right? So like everyone is equally lagged, theoretically.
Yeah, I noticed like a little bit of like disconnect between the mouse and the crosshair, but it wasn't like super like annoying or anything. Also, Stadia players are weird. The one guy wasted his super at the end of a round, and we were 1-3, and so, but we ended up winning that game. I don't know. Stadia players are weird. So that's it for the news. We do have one question from Mike.
Mike, the TV.
And he asked us, what's your favorite unlockable player from a video game? I'm just going to leave this to Ben. This seems like a Ben question.
You guys, God damn it. This is super easy because I remember doing this at an arcade once and it never happened again. Akuma in Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Because that shit was... Because how to get him it's super tricky and timing-wise. Because you could fuck up and get a dirty-looking colored Gi Ryu. But yeah, Akuma...
How did you do that?
You have to... I don't remember correctly. You got to, like... It's you have to hover around Cammy, then Honda, then Guile... And then, like, it's very specific on, like, which characters you hover over for, like, 2 to 5 seconds. And then you have to hover on Ryu and then press, like, light kick, light punch, and all punch. I think all punches. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've done it. I haven't been able to do it in the Anniversary Collection. But I remember doing it because I remember hearing about it. And, it's like, oh my god, it's Akuma and doing air fireballs. So that's one of the cooler ones. That's possibly the coolest one I could think of.
I have one. Spartan in DOA 4.
I have no idea who that is.
So in DOA 4, it was on Xbox, so you could unlock like a Spartan, like Master Chief.
Oh, for real?
DOA 4.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It's not Master Chief per se, but like it was a Spartan, and it was pretty badass.
I vaguely remember that. I don't know if I can think of a specific example. Was Link unlockable in Soul Calibur 2, or was he?
He
there
was
by
there by
default?
default.
I think it was default. Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of a cop-out answer because like it's not exciting, but like I loved the amount of content that was there. Luigi and Mario Galaxy.
That's a good one.
Because like it's like I said, it's just Luigi. But like basically you beat the entire game, like all 120 stars or whatever they are, as Mario. And then you unlock Luigi and get another set of like more difficult stars with Luigi. And then you get the Grandmaster Galaxy that you have to also beat with both of them. And so it's just like, it's so much more content. And like Luigi plays so fun. I've always been a sucker for Luigi because I'm the little brother. So like I was always player 2, you know, like it's just, it felt cool back in the day. But if I have another like better example that's not such a cop-out, I'll think of it. But I don't think I have one.
The only thing I can think of was Spider-Man and from Tony Hawk 2.
That's
a good one,
that's a
too.
really good one.
That's a good one.
But yeah, I don't play a lot of games that requires unlocks of things. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Like, because a lot of it now is DLC, so it's got to be old examples, which is tricky.
Mm-hmm. Also Darth Maul. So.
When was he?
Tony Hawk. He was also in Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yes,
was?
he was.
Yeah.
They had the license at the
I didn't
time.
know
Like,
that one.
would like the Smash unlocks like make sense back in the day
Yeah.
when you're like, oh my god, I can unlock more characters? What? There's
Yeah,
more
that
than
was-
8?
Who the fuck?
See, I knew them
Who the fuck
already,
is
so that
Ness?
was exciting to me.
Who's Lucas?
What's an Earthbound?
That's true.
Yeah, true. Do you guys have anything else?
I'm trying to think.
I feel like Ben would be like the master for this.
If I knew beforehand, I could have had a list. Because like Akuma's like the biggest one. Like he's not unlockable, but like fighting like Reptile in Mortal Kombat 1 is still pretty sick. Not.
But he's not unlockable, like you said.
Hold on. Ermac in Mortal Kombat in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Because you have to unlock him in that game. In that game, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, after he had been like rumored in past
Yeah.
games.
So Ermac
Yeah.
is because he was the
Yeah, that
Red
was kinda
Ninja, and I hate Ermac. Oh god, I wish I never unlocked him. Open the door to hell.
Just another like kind of quick along those same lines, I guess. Sorry, I was stalling for time because I actually forgot while Ben was
God,
Oh my
god
God,
damn
dude.
it, Justin.
It's been a long day, all right? I've played a lot of Final Fantasy VII. I had to do more work today than I wanted to do, and I was working outside. It's been a long day. And I didn't sleep well last night. God, what was it?
Just
Grief.
piling up excuses.
Does anyone else have anything while I think?
Animal Crossing characters in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
The Mercedes Benz in
Oh, I forgot that was the thing.
Mario Kart 8.
Does that count? Does it even
I mean,
count?
it wasn't at DLC, so technically no. But like, they put a Mercedes in Mario Kart.
Does this one count? Because it's unlocked, because it's a story thing. But you do unlock it. But when in the first Tomb Raider reboot game, when Laura gets her double pistols at the final part, does that count?
I wouldn't say that counts,
Okay.
but that's more of an Easter egg, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's such a badass moment though.
Yeah.
I remembered my example real quick before I forget again. Again, it's kind of a weird choice, but in Megaman X3, when you can play as
Oh
Zero,
yeah, that's pretty dope.
like again, he's not unlockable. Like you can't play as him through the whole game. But like I had played X1 and X2, and I loved Zero, and then in X3, it's like, wait, there's a playable section with him. Wait, I can bring him in at any time I want, except for boss battles. This is awesome.
Mike gives an example of King Chicken in CTR Nitro Fueled. I never played CTR.
I have no idea.
Crash
I've not
Team
played any of the
Racing.
Crash Team Racing games.
I don't even know who King Chicken is.
He sounds delicious.
This is so unlockable. I thought of the power armor in Mega Man 7.
Is that a character?
No, it's an armor. You have to find specific armors. Like you have to find specific things in stages. I don't remember the exact names, but then you get like this super badass armor that Mega Man can now hover. He can do like a dump, like a air punch. It's badass. That's an unlockable. You have to find things to unlock it.
That's not an unlockable character.
Okay.
So like an unlockable power up. It's like the infinite ammo headband from Metal Gear, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, honestly. I mean, a cool...
I think it was pretty wild back in the day when you could, like... I hate to go back to Smash again, but, like, when we first knew we could get Sonic the Hedgehog in Smash, like...
That was pretty...
Yeah.
Despite the character not being very good, like, it was a cool moment.
mm-hmm.
Well, like, he was part of the story mode, too, wasn't he?
No, he doesn't show up till, like, the very end. He's literally joins you right at the very end. Bless you.
Hey, guys, it's me, Sonic! I'm here!
Still.
I don't even know if that's his voice or not.
It's
but...
close.
It's good enough. We'll cast you in a movie. How about that?
I mean, the reveal trailer for Snake was pretty surprising, too.
Well,
in Smash, I mean.
I'm going to end the podcast if you can't think of it.
Silver
if you can think
Surfer
of something...
and Marvel Ultimate Alliance. There you go. That's a damn good one.
I assumed a Marvel Ultimate Alliance would come up at some point.
Yeah, that's that. There's a lot of unlockable characters in that game, but Silver Surfer's the best one.
All right. So I'm going to end the podcast. If you come up with any more, we'll say it on the next one. But let's have Jacob plug his stuff first.
Yeah, so I do a podcast called The Left Behind Game Club. Thomas has been on it. Essentially, we play a video game and we talk about it. It's usually positive and fun and informative about the games. Our next games are A Short Hike and The Last of Us. You can find that podcast at leftbehindgame.club. You can find me on the internet at Jacob McCord on all major social media platforms. And thank you again for having me on the show. I didn't realize it had been 2.5 years since I've been on the Gamescast.
Has it been that long?
Yeah,
We've done like 120 episodes since he's been on.
Jesus.
Yeah. So time flies when you're making pods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the show myself. I try to listen to it every time it just drops. I love the show.
Thank you.
Justin.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to say, if you end up like doing an episode on the original Final Fantasy VII, please invite me on, because that would be awesome.
Okay.
That's going to be a long playthrough.
Well, do you play the whole game?
Yes.
Yeah, we play the whole game.
Oh.
I guess you could break it down by disc.
Yeah, we've broken bigger games down before.
Yeah.
Into two-part, like Shadow of the Colossus, we broke down into 2 parts. We've done a few 2-parters, but usually it's like, yeah. Sometimes they get real long.
I thought it was like you play the game and then like the podcast is like a talk about the game.
Yeah, it is. But sometimes it takes, like, sometimes there's so much stuff. So, like, Detroit Become Human, we did in January. And that one, there's so much stuff in it that we ended up splitting it into, like, 2 90-minute shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I wouldn't have to replay Final Fantasy VII. Like, I could just join you to talk about it.
Yeah.
If you play it. But, yeah, anyway. I am at Zero Score on Twitter and YouTube and I guess Twitch/Mixer. I was thinking of streaming this week and then I didn't, so
There's that.
that's kind of been my life in quarantine.
Everybody's either playing or streaming Final Fantasy VII, so you probably made the right choice.
Right, that's kind of where I was. I was like, I'm not gonna stream Final Fantasy VII because I don't have it yet. So what would be the point?
I mean, I follow Maisie Williams on Twitter, and Sansa, not Sansa, one of the Stark girls from Arya from Game of Thrones, and she was like, "How do I get on Twitch? I want to play Animal Crossing on Twitch." So everyone,
that's cute.
But I was gonna play Megaman X Command Mission. So a little different than everything else, and probably wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
That's a choice. That is a choice indeed.
That is a good game.
I never said anything. I just said that's a choice. It's a neutral statement. I didn't say anything otherwise. That is a choice. That is a choice. Just like keeping the baby. Anyways.
Jeez.
Anyways,
Never keep the baby.
Just to go back to Jacob's podcast, I recommend listening to the Telltale games because they do those by episode, and so like those are really good listens too. Like after you're done the episode, you can just go listen to that. Anyways, Ben.
You can find me at twitter.com/MarvelZiggy, or I have succumbed to the pressure of Animal Crossing. I will be purchasing that next week, so I will join this cult that is about the furry animals.
I'm gonna give you my Godzilla.
Yes.
If you get the game.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna buy it digitally because I refuse to let germs get into me. It's probably in here already, and I'm just waiting
Should be
to test
sealed,
it.
right?
Yeah, it's probably in me already. I'm taking time on, but yeah, Twitter.com/MarvelSiggy, where I do all my shit posting and stuff like that. But I'm gonna recommend a video that people watch. This is Final Fantasy VII remake related. There's a YouTuber I watch. Doesn't do a lot of content, but I think he's one of the more entertaining ones I watch. His name is Digi Valentine. You may have seen his stuff every now and then. He does a series called Who Dat? Yes, it's called that. And the past 2 episodes he's done on it have both been on Tifa and Aerith, and they're really great analysis videos on their design, their personality, and then like their importance to like him or gaming culture. It's a really fun series. If you're into Final Fantasy, I recommend watching those. If you're new to Final Fantasy, you may not want to watch them because it does go into some spoiler stuff, but it's really well produced videos. So it's Digi Valentine. He doesn't know who I am, but I'm just a fan of his, and I love what he does. And he's from the United Kingdom, so he has a very cool accent. And every time he says "bruh," I lose my shit. Or "bruv," I lose my shit. So he's great.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, he's or fam. British people are only people who can say fam.
Oh, fam.
And get away with it and sound cool. But go follow him because he's great, and support him because I love him too. Yeah, that's it for me.
You can find me on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also email me, thomas@charshot.com. Visit our website, charshot.com, for audio, video, and written content.
Wrestling.
Check me.
Wrestling
Content.
Exciting.
We're going to have special guest Jacob on that one as well.
You're going to make me watch old WCW, aren't
Yes,
you?
we are.
We are,
Yeah.
and
Well-
I don't think it's the one I wanted, which had a monster truck fight in it. So you can blame Ben for that.
Excuse me?
You're not watching that one.
Excuse
Hey,
me?
blame the voters. Don't blame me. God, give the people what they want. They want to see Karl Malone.
They want to see Dennis Rodman for some reason.
Yep.
Anyways, you can check us out or check me streaming. I have a stream schedule now. Kane Play Stuff. This is where we host the show. And check us out on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places you get podcasts. And that's it for me. And so everyone have a good night and enjoy your games.
Wow.
Bye.
Video games.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, so the one I wanted had a monster truck fight and a dude dressed up as a mummy, and Tony Schiavone calls him a Yeti. But he doesn't say Yeti, he says Yeti.
Stop it.
It's 100% real.